Hello everybody, Ghostblade 1062 here with another rolling stock review. Today we will be reviewing a Piko Expert line T3000e Articulated Well Car with a load of 2 DB Schenker Trailers. And now let's move on to the unboxing. Alright. Taking a look at the box, we have our clear plastic front window. That gives us our first look at the car and trailers. In the bottom center, we have the Expert line logo, with the Piko logo being on the top right. On the bottom of the box, we have the contact information for Piko, as well as an age restriction warning. The right side, top, and back of the box don't offer any additional information. But on the left side of the box, we do have some information. Here we have the product barcode, followed by the product ID, this being 24626. It is a well car of the type T3000e. with 2 DB Schenker Trailers. It is an Era 6 car, road number 4992162-6. And then we have a line drawing of the cars themselves. Now, breaking the seals on the box. We are able to take off the lid, which exposes our two-piece shell that the cars are sitting in. And underneath that, we have an instruction manual as well as the typical Piko advertisement booklet. In the instruction manual here, we have a list of spare parts, Right, moving on to opening up the shell here. And this is also sealed. And we also have included a pack of spare parts, these being the fold-up hooks for containers. It's one. And two. And now, here we go. That's the top cover off. And let's start with taking out the trailers. Trailer number 1. And trailer number 2. And here's the well car. And next, we will move on to the detail overview of the video. Time to take a closer look at the car and trailers. We'll start off with the trailers. At the front here, we have our painted on detailing for the warning sign placards, as well as we have our reflective markings here. And then towards the center, we have our trailer number, this being SEQA 1020079. And we have some bracketing detailing molded in. Brace detailing, I should say. Moving on to the side, we have some light paneling detailing, as well as some capacity markings, our reflective striping. We have our side guards here. And then we have the DB Schenker logo along the side of the back half of the trailer, with the trailer number being here towards the bottom right, or bottom back side, I should say. And we have our 3 axles, all of which are free rolling. Moving on to the back of the trailer, we have the DB Schenker logo across the top with our warning placards and reflective markings on the bottom here, as well as the trailer number again. We have some lightly molded in detailing for the door hinging locking mechanism. And on the bumper, we have some light detailing of where the lights would be. And then the far side doesn't offer much extra from its counterpart. On the underside of the trailer, we have our spare tire here, which is molded onto the frame, as well as our air reservoir. All along the whole bottom, we have our bracing for the main frame of the trailer. We also have our landing gear here, which is in the up position. And we have our hitch pin. All in all, very, very basic detailing, which is a bit disappointing in my opinion. At the very least, Piko could have added some extra paint to make the locking mechanism for the door stand out, as well as the hinges. The taillights could have been painted. So honestly, a little bit disappointing in regards to the trailers. As the other one, the only difference is the trailer number, that one being SEQA 121232. So I might end up doing some painting at some point to at least have those details stand out a bit. But moving on to the car itself, right off the bat from picking it up, I can feel that the whole body is metal. And we'll start at the front here, where we have our molded in coupling hook, as well as we have our grab irons underneath the buffers. And we have a folded down handrail for the step that's on the side here. Moving on to the long side of the car, we have our length and capacity information for the car. Trying to get a better hold on it here. There we go. We have our crane hook attacher. We also have our raised locking pin for the trailers. Moving towards the middle of the first compartment, we have our road number, the full 12-digit number being 31804992-162-6. And it is a Deutsche Bahn trailer. Moving on towards the articulation point, we have a step to go up on top of the car, as well as a corrugated walkway crossing the center truck, which is see-through. And moving on to the second half, we have, towards the center, we have the Deutsche Bahn logo, and then at the far end, again, our capacity and length information. We have our air reservoir here as well, along with our step and folded down handrail. And onto the far end, again, right above the coupler, we have our coupling hook. And underneath the buffers, we have our grab irons. All in all, we going across the length of the other side, all the same detailing. The trucks have some basic suspension detailing and brake detailing. We do along the body also have these folding up components here, which are used for holding shipping containers rather than trailers, as these types of cars are used for both, being able to haul 40-foot containers, 20-foot containers, and trailers. All in all, a fair amount of detailing. Looking in the top, we can see that we have the sunken in wells for the wheels of the trailer. That way they can't move. And looking on the hitch detailing, near the hitch is for the trailers, you have the detailing for or the various pipes that are used for locking in the locking pins of the trailers. And we don't have any additional detailing on the underside. And next, we will move on to the rip track segment of the video. Right, time for the rip track segment of the video. To begin with, we're going to verify the wheel gauge on all 6 axles. Starting with the first truck, axle 1 is good, and axle 2 is a little tight, but good. Axle 3 is good. Axle 4 is good. And now for the last axle. Last truck, axle 5 is good. And axle 6 is good. So all of our axles are engaged, which is good. And now to replace the couplers. Okay, that's coupler 1 out. And the replacement coupler is in. And now to just adjust the coupler trip pin a little bit, as I always have trouble with those. There we go. Now for the other side. Old coupler out. New coupler in. And trip pin adjusted. And now all that's left is to verify our coupler height. All right, truck 1, truck 2, and truck 3. All right, that's all of our axles on track. And we are spot on for coupler height on that end. And now for the other end. Also right on. Alright, so our coupler height is good, which means we are ready to take the car over to the track for a test run. Alright everybody, this concludes my review of the Piko Expert line T3000e Articulated Well Car with the 2 DB Schenker trailer load. The car itself is very well built, it's running smoothly. I did have a little bit of coupler issues, but that's on me, not on the manufacturer. I'll have to do some adjusting with the coupler trip pins to resolve that issue. I was, however, disappointed in the lack of detailing on the car. Usually Piko is really good for getting details done very well, but the trailers on this car were quite disappointing in regards to the detailing. And the detailing on the car could have been a bit more intricate, but all in all was still very well done. That being said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment and subscribe for more model railroad content. Have a great day, everybody.